Sandi Clarkson here with you today. The process video for My Creative Scrapbook using the limited edition kit. First of all, I'm gonna start with this paper as my base, and I've already covered it with some clear gesso from the Crafter's Workshop, and I used an old 13 Arts spatula to apply it. My paper has warped a little bit, and I think because I didn't go all the way to the edge. I just thought that I might use some mixed media around my photo cluster, but we'll see. Anyway, I've applied that already, and I have dried my paper. So I'm going to be scrapping a cute little photo of grandson Lucas, and I thought that was really sweet. So I'm going to use this floral paper and tear some. I originally was going to use this at the top, and but then with my clusters, I just thought that I would that this should be either the top and this be the bottom. But then I decided I'm just going to let this be the middle, and I'm going to tear away some paper, a little bit for the top and a little bit for the bottom. Alternatively, if you wanted, you could use this little scallop strip down here. The print is a little smaller, but that way you could use it up, and you'd still have some, paper in your stash. So I'm going to make this wedge down here a little bit larger, and this one up there a little bit smaller. So I think I'll just do it from the ends, and I'm going to allow about 1.5 inches on this right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of eyeball it for what I want it to be, and then use this old Creative Memories tearing tool that I have in my stash. So anyway, you have to use a little bit of pressure when you tear, or you can just, tear away on your own, but this is going to be for the bottom. And then actually I could just cut this to be for the top, and that way I can save a little paper. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the microphone, and we'll just continue on. All right, so there you can see that I've adhered the paper to the top and bottom of my paper, and there I'm experimenting with some tags that I have chosen to go underneath the photo. I've already matted that cute little photo of Lucas at the wheel, if you will. And I really loved all the tags in this month's kit. They were just all so cute and had various, qualities to them, or attributes that were meaningful for the season and for the color in the kit. So I chose a few, and I wanted to prop my photo up on corrugated cardboard, and there I'm kind of auditioning some different elements that I have already chosen ahead of time. I want to use that little puffy sticker that says the night before Christmas, and for it to really stand out, I think it's going to need to be, well, just because of where I'm placing the photo and all of that, I've taken up some real estate with the printed paper versus the plaid paper. And so I'm going to have to put that title down there, I suppose, just so everything will be in relative proportion to each other and where it is. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere the corrugated cardboard and the black tag and that little half doily that I still had left from another project. And there I'm just using my T-square to kind of line things up. And there I'm debating about, where to put that little puffy title. And then I'm taking one of the bow ties that's from the 49 and Market laser cuts, and I'm using that as a tag on that black one. And then I'm tucking in that ho 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 and the Christmas tree, and I am going to be laying elements on top of those, so I probably won't add anything else there that I can recall. I did want to use that little sleigh that is also from the 49 and Market laser cuts, but I wanted to grab this little snowman or snow lady, actually, I think it is, and she's going to catch a ride on the sleigh, and so, she's going to be the passenger princess, or, well, maybe she's the driver since I don't see anybody else on board with her. So, anyway, we're going to go for a ride in the sleigh, or we're going to ride alongside Lucas there and just have some fun on the page. I love how delicate the laser cuts are. It's just amazing to me that they can be cut so, small. And there I was planning to bring in some holly on either side of my tags. I think in the end I maybe opt to change that out just because it just feels like I got so much on all my pages this month that I was just like adding too much and getting things to be too busy, and that I needed to take away. So there I'm experimenting with that little stack of gifts to add alongside, since we've got the tree going right there. And I wanted to bring in those larger red florals, which I hadn't used yet. And that's where the stack of presents came from. It was from the cardstock stickers. And there you see me auditioning or trying out some of the just little gifts that are from the cardstock stickers. So I kind of play around with that a little bit, and I do glue one down and then come back later and change it out. So you'll see me doing that, which I use some undo to do it, which really is for, one-dimensional stickers, not for a cardstock sticker, but it helped me do the trick and get it up, and I was able to place it there. But I love these little red flowers. They're just perfect for the Christmas season because they have the gold on them and the little balls. And, I just love creating with red and green anyway. And so for me, it seems like the Christmas kits just always kind of scrap themselves because the colors go so well together. I did bring in one of the little green poinsettias to go along the side so I could have 3 florals there. I always like to do odd numbers when I can. Sometimes I'll use like 5. If I use 3 in one place, I might use 2 in another, but I tend to always go with 3. And there you see me, playing with that gift again. And I was kind of wanting to use the cardstock because the snow woman is cardstock. Not cardstock, but chipboard. And so there you see me put down that little gift that I ultimately rearrange. And there I'm experimenting with those smaller red flowers. It's not the smallest ones. It's that one is a small one. And I just want to kind of use it for adornment. But the little more medium-sized ones have a little kind of brass center to them with little tiny micro beads, and they're really pretty. They're a nice size, and they really go with Christmas pages. So there you see me, just playing around with that a little bit. I was thinking I didn't really want to add it until I have to because I didn't want to push on it and create a dent in it or anything like that. But I am kind of lining things up there and going ahead and went for it. And then that one was from the cardstock stickers, and I was just kind of experimenting with that one as well. But I did decide to go ahead and put it down. That is one you definitely could lift with undo if you want. And there I just didn't have it as straight as I wanted it to be. So I was just going back and checking that. Excuse my hair getting in the way there. Anyway, at the end of the creation process, I do come back in and do some colorizing with that Shimmer's Palm Reader mist. And I think I did not get that on camera, but I haven't done that in a while, and that's a really great way to add mixed media is, once your things are in place, if you can lift them, then you can just kind of paint around them and it looks like, you've done a lot of mixed media in the center. And there I'm playing with those little anise seeds and some of the more brown elements, thinking that I needed to bring in something brown. And then it really kind of hit me that I needed to include that deer if I could. And so I kind of play around with where that's going to go. And ultimately, it goes at the bottom of the page on top of the title. I didn't want to put it right in front of the sled because it's not really pulling the sled, but with it being down there on the title, it kind of gives the appearance of, pulling the sled without really doing so. And there you can see me just adhering a couple of the bows. That big red one is from the 49 in Market laser cuts. And there I'm just kind of figuring if I want to bring in another one or not. All of the little bows are from the 49 in Market laser cuts. And so I think I did go ahead and decide to go for it and added that one in right there. And I'm just putting some of the little very small red florals kind of as a center and trying that out. And then I decide I really want to use that little reindeer, like a little Bambi who's got some gifts in front of him. I thought he would take up more space, and he just seemed to be a better size for what I was wanting right there. And I don't know, he just kind of goes with the snowman and brings some kind of character, into the page since, I'm doing a layout of a little child. So I'm happier with that, although either one would have worked. And then I'm adding in some of the little holly that's from the die cut pack. And I've got numerous pieces of that I could add. I think I bring in some of the chipboard holly as well. There is lots to use in this kit. We get, lots of different packets of product to play with. And so you could make a lot more projects than just the 4. I've got 4 layouts done, very heavily embellished, and I still have product to go. All right, so I'm bringing in just some miscellaneous here. And as I'm looking through my things, I do want to mention that there are details down below in the description box about how you can order a kit if you're not already a Kit Club subscriber. Usually our Christmas kits you can buy as a one-off or like what we call a 1-month subscription. So be sure and check that out. And there I'm just trying another little clip. I don't usually do a lot of those clips, but I wanted something to go right there. And I thought about one of those little tabs, which would have worked. But I think in the end, I go back to the little clip. I loved all the little different cardstock stickers that are on there. They're just all so cute. And there's a lot of word phrases that I really never got the opportunity to use or took the opportunity. I think they would be great for card making or album making, or if I had had a page that had more white space on it, then I think I could have brought in a lot more of those really nice word phrases. So there I decided just to put that little heart button instead of a clip. And then I also bring in that wood slice and tuck it under right there. I just wanted some more brown to kind of go along with the reindeer that's on there. And then I kind of embellish on top and bottom of my photo. And there you can see me bringing in my white paint, which I think is just my little cue to mention that I'm either going to splatter with white paint or I'm going to paint with my Shimmers Palm Reader, which in the end I do paint with the Shimmers Palm Reader, and then I do some splattering as well. But I'm adding some stars. The stars are coming from that cardstock page that we were just looking at. In a minute, I'm going to be showing you my finished product and be showing you some close-ups. I do hope that you're able to get a kit this month. Um, if the limited edition is not your cup of tea, we do have 4 different kits every month, and so there's lots of different things to choose from. So you should be able to find something that you enjoy there. I think for some reason the speed on my video stopped a little bit there, and I've got some replication, but I'm looking at different pieces to add in. Oh yes, I grabbed the Naughty and Nice, and I stick that in there, and then I come back looking at that anise seed, and it looks like I'm cleaning up there. So thank you so much for coming by today. I really appreciate. There I am with my vibes. Um, that is the palm reader. I will see you next time. Thanks for coming by. Be sure and like and subscribe. Bye bye.